This is the whole CELPIP Writing Task 1 email template you need. Take a screenshot of this picture. This is 6 lines. We fill in the blanks and wait. We are going to see a live answer. We are going to use this template and write writing with CLB 10 in 190 words. And just wait until the end because I'm going to tell you why this template alone is not going to help you in your writing task 1. Well, before we go through it, let me tell you a truth. There are hundreds of templates online you can see in many websites, on many YouTube videos that suggest you long phrases and sentences to memorize and use them in your email, and they just claim that it's going to get you perfect score. But when we look at the official documents of Paragon, the company that creates CELPIP, we see that they say if you use common words and memorize templates, you're not going to get higher than 5. But the template I showed you works another way. It's just 6 short sentences. And I can say it's a very small part of your email, and the most important parts are the ones that you put inside this template. Line 1 of this template that I gave you is the greeting. In formal emails, it starts with hello and the name of the team or the person we are writing to. In informal emails, it starts with hi and just the first name. And as you can see, there's no subject line, there's no to, from, and other things. I have another video about that. I suggest you watch it. I'll put the link here. Line 2, the most important one. In the formal emails, it starts with I am writing to blank and to blank. And for informal emails, you can write, I'm reaching out because blank. As you can see, there are 2 blanks in these lines, and I'll talk about these blanks, which are the most important parts of your writing, later in this video. Line 3 is the body. Most of the time, it only has 2 sentences. The first sentence answers the bullet point from the question. After that, we add some examples, some data. We can start the next sentence with, for example, for instance, and add some names, numbers, and data that makes our email more natural and like a real email with enough details. Line 4 is the closing sentence. What does it mean? In the formal emails, we can write, thank you again for blank. In the informal emails, we write, let me know again blank. The official document calls it the concluding statement. This concluding statement means we should not jump from bullet 3 to kind regards. There should be something here that shows our email is finished, our message is finished, or we are offering something. And for the sign off, we can write kind regards for the formal emails and something like cheers for the informal ones. Well, again, I repeat, you saw just 6 lines, short lines you can easily memorize, and you just need to swap some words for better answer. I have a video about how to change the words, how to get better scoring vocabulary. Again, I will put the link here. Well, now let's use this template for a real answer. We look at a sample answer from CELTESTPIP and we'll use the template to write the answer. Well, the question is a formal question and we are writing to mall management. So we use the formal part of the template. Line 1, hello guest service team. Line 2, I am writing to thank your security staff for their help last Saturday and to suggest a way to recognize the shopper who returned my wallet. Line 3, first time. The answer, I realized my wallet was missing while I was paying at the coffee shop on the 2nd floor. Now the example. At about 2:30 in the afternoon, near the west escalator, and I had used it 20 minutes earlier, second time. I went straight to the security desk, where an officer named Daniel helped me. He wrote down my route, called the lost and found, and stayed with me while he checked. Again, line 3, the third time. I am very grateful to Daniel and his team for acting so quickly. And we add, I would also like to suggest that the mall thank honest shoppers publicly, perhaps with a gift card and a short post on your social media page. Line 4, thank you again for your help. Line 5, kind regards. Line 6, the name. And look at the counter, it's about 190, so between 150 and 200. We have a perfect answer here. Well, now is the time for the thing I promised you. Before that, please comment for me the hardest task 1 question you have experienced, you have seen on CELTESTPIP or real CELPIP exam anywhere. Write it in the comments and I try to give you the best strategy to answer it. Well, now the part that I promised you. I told you that the template itself is not enough for answering a perfect writing task 1. Why? Because the template cannot read the question for you. And something I always tell my students is that first read the question perfectly, because you need to answer all of the things needed in the points. And if you don't do that, you're not going to get the task fulfillment part of your writing. Let's look at that sample question again together. Express your appreciation and suggest ways to recognize the honest person who returned your wallets. Count the verbs in this with me: express and suggest. So we have 2 jobs here, but many students answer this question like this: I am very grateful to Daniel and his team for acting so quickly. It is good to know that there are still honest people in this city. Well, this answer looks perfect. The grammar is good, the vocabulary is fine, but it's not going to get the full score. Why? Because it only answered half of the point, just to express. There was no suggest in these sentences. The version that answers properly adds about 19 extra words to this answer. It adds the suggestion. Let's read it again. I would also like to suggest that the mall thank honest shoppers publicly, perhaps with a gift card and a short post on your social media page. So, this is the rule I suggest you. When you see one of the points in your writing task 1 and you see the word and inside it, count the verbs. Maybe that point is asking you to express 2 things. So it's better to count the verbs we see in the points, not only the points themselves. For example, sometimes you have 3 bullet points, but one of them has 2 verbs. Like this example we saw together, it said express and suggest. So we kind of have 4 bullet points for this example. And after seeing thousands of sample questions and the samples my students send me, I can say most of the time the bullet 3 is asking about 2 things. Be careful when you are reading it so you don't miss it. Well, as you saw in this video, we didn't offer the same thing you see in other videos or websites, the ready templates, long sentences that you should memorize. We just had some short sentences and focused on how to fill the blanks in those sentences. Let's review the sentences together. Greeting, purpose, body, closing sentence, sign off, name. And the words only change when the tone changes. The template creates the shape for us, but we bring the details and we are the person who reads the question completely. We can see the whole template with many more examples in our free writing course on CELTESTPIP. Besides, we have other courses for speaking, reading, listening, and also vocabulary on CELTESTPIP.com. And for practicing, you can use our thousands of questions in different skills for CELPIP and get your instant feedback, especially in writing and speaking. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe to the channel and don't forget to turn on the notification. As I always say, never stop practicing. See you soon.